So let's look at another piece that I've just got open on my desktop here. And here's one. It's in, look at that. It is glued down in somebody's notebook here, and they've got it glued down, which is really nice. So again, they're playing with the idea of the dot painting concept with a little bit of cheater background stuff in the background. I don't mind that quite so much. But anyway, we've got blue and green kind of in the foreground. We've got blue and green and a little bit of red smattering in the background. That does create a little bit of neutrality in the background, which helps to push the background back. But I sure would have liked, again, maybe to see a little smattering of yellow, a pool of light, maybe right here in the foreground to help pop the foreground forward. The things that are really popping forward are the pieces of fruit. And of course, the yellow and the red with some orange in here. Her tetrad is kind of going into about 6 or 7 colors here, but anyway, these highlighted portions of the fruit do tend to pop forward, which is nice. The stem end pieces want to recede a little bit. Cool colors tend to recede. Maybe breaking them up a little bit with another color dot or so of like green or even red would help them to just not be a Johnny one note color here. And so I love her title for the piece, Apples to Apples. So she's having fun with this. So that's pretty cool. But like on this green apple and this green apple right here, you can kind of see the use of the orange and yellow dots can kind of help create highlights in a couple areas, either a highlight in the left central portion of the fruit or something on some kind of a crescent shape or some kind of a comma or crescent shape that caresses or in a curve kind of leads the viewer's eye around the apple to kind of help to create the sense of a spherical highlight or a spherical form in these apples. So that's working pretty good. I'm going to stop the share and come back to you guys again. You're still there. You're still fixed and wrapped in your attention to my every word, which is really nice. I opened a couple more to show you. I don't want to bore you with this stuff, but one more maybe in order. This project is still open until Sunday night, by the way. So if you get inspired by what you're seeing today and want to go back into your project and do anything else, I want to encourage you to keep painting on this thing, because it's not done until it's done. It's not done until you stop working on it. So that's always the thing with people who are painting for the first time or don't have, I don't know, a lot of teaching that's happening right next to you, where I might be able to actually demonstrate and touch and do some things on your painting to really be able to show you the process. We're trying to glean this from other projects, which is kind of difficult and kind of hard. I'm doing my screen share one more time. I've got a whole lot of other things here that are sort of, this doesn't look very promising here. I don't know what this is. That doesn't look good. It looks like I don't have a lot of other stuff open right now. Maybe if I scroll down, maybe if I scroll sideways, show all the windows, there's the one I'm looking for. Okay, we'll share that one. All right. So again, this person got a little bit painterly on us, and I'm going to try to enlarge it just a little bit so that the image fills the screen just a little bit more. And so I see brush strokes on here instead of using just the butt end of the paintbrush, the wrong end of the paintbrush. And I don't mind the brush strokes because they're short and they're choppy and they're kind of like the dots that we could be using. And you can see those kinds of textures building up form inside the apples. This central apple right here is really nice. I see a couple of colors of red in here, a deeper red and a higher key red, and that high key red has created a little bit of a crescent shape highlight right here that is just really working in terms of trying to make this apple pop. So that's good. And the neutralized and bluer color in the middle of that stem end, it definitely makes that stem end recede a little. So this center apple on the bottom row is just fantastic. Some of these other apples are working really good. This one, upper left-hand corner is working pretty good. This one over here is working pretty good. We've kind of lost a little bit of the round shape over on this side. So this apple is turning into a potato just a little bit, but you know, it's fine. It's what, for what it is, it's fine. I would love to see a little bit of difference between the background choppy combination of brush strokes and the foreground choppy combination of blue and green brush strokes, because I'd really like to see the addition of higher key value in the foreground. So if the green, and it looks like a light green, it doesn't really look like a yellow green to me, but the light green, if it was just 90% of all of the brush strokes here with just a smattering of other brush strokes interspersed in there, but I really like to see a strong 90% of the light green in the foreground to make the foreground pop forward, and then the background would probably be fine. But I would love to see 90% of blue in this interapular space here, this area between the apples that is all shadows and cast shadows. This should be dark, and that would really make that kind of not pop towards the viewer, but recede away from the viewer and kind of created the inky shadows in between the apples that are in the original painting. So this space between the apples is something that's important, and it's something that we kind of can't forget about. But when a new painter is just trying to get paint on the canvas and really isn't paying much attention to what the paint is actually doing, instead of in terms of plastic plastic color, you know, that's what we need to come back and address. So this area should be a lot darker, a lot bluer. Okay, that's probably enough of beating up on that poor student. I wanted to pivot a little bit and show you guys a little demonstration today, because I really think that these paintings that we did are nice and that they are works of art and worthy of framing and displaying. So I have gone out and bought a frame from Walmart. I'm just going to bring it over here because it's kind of out of my reach right now. So watch this. Got a picture frame and a painting. And we'll just kind of put these together and see what happens. So I've got my workspace here is getting a little bit dirty with all of the sculpture that I've been doing. So here's the old one that I did last year. And here's the new one that I did this year. And I put it inside this picture frame. These frames are like $9.97 at Walmart. Maybe they're $13, but you know, they're fairly affordable. And the frame is 11 by 14. And so you can frame then a 9 by 12 or an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper artwork inside of this thing. And it comes with the frame itself. And I'm gonna maybe go to the overhead view for some of this as I take this apart. The frame has all of these devices for locking the back panel into the frame, so that when we open up, when we undo all of those and take off the back panel, then we can get ourselves right into this thing. And so what I did is, you know, here's my painting, and I'm going to take that out and set it aside so we can kind of take this apart and show you what this is. This is a pre-cut mat with an image size of about 8 by 10, so that you could put a, you know, a picture, a photograph in here. Photographs are often 8 by 10. Our computer paper is 8.5 by 11, and the Bristol board is 9 by 12. So all of that stuff would kind of fit and overlap just a little bit this picture space that is 8 by 10. So it's got glass in it, and what you do when you get one of these is to completely take it apart, Get yourself some Windex or glass cleaner of some kind and spray it on here, and then wipe it off and clean the glass on the inside and the outside so that the glass is clean. And then we replace all of our stuff. I put the window mat back in there. I'm going to take the image and I'm going to try to place it in here so that it is straight. And I kind of want to look at it to see that it is straight in here and move it around until I'm kind of happy with splitting the difference between all of the margins and stuff. This window isn't, or this window mat isn't perfectly sized for this painting, but it's close enough for our purposes today. And I just moved it when I tried to flip it back over again. So I'm just going to put that in straight like that and hold it so that it doesn't move, so that I've got this as straight and plumb as possible in the space. And then I put just some masking tape on here to hold it along the top edge. I don't recommend masking tape because in 20 years, the masking tape will dry out. In 30 years, it might have a little bit of acidic nature to the paper or to the glue or something, to the adhesive, that can soak through your art and kind of damage or, you know, show your art. So it's not archival quality stuff. But for doing a student grade project that might want to last for 10 or 15 years or less, it's just fine like this. So I'm putting that in, and then you just replace the backer board that comes with it. Since this is the top, I want to make sure that my hanging device that's provided on the back of the backer board is up there. And then we just refasten all of the little things, and these things just kind of swing into place and get stuck in the groove that is pre-cut in the back of the frame. And then we flip it around, and voila, we've got highlights on the glass. So I'm gonna change to my talking head view for a second here and hold this up to just demonstrate a little bit. We get a really nice presentation that way. And this picture frame, cheap picture frame, 10 bucks at Walmart, can really transform your piece into quite a nice work of art that's ready for wall display and, you know, very nice. This particular one was sized in such a way so that I've got a little bit of a gap on the bottom, and I can actually use that. I can sign my work like an artist, sign it in the lower right-hand corner with your signature, and over in the lower left-hand corner, you can, you know, put a title in here. Usually we do that in pencil so that the signature and the title don't compete with the artwork. But we would title something like this, like an homage to Cézanne. Homage is a French word, and it's the French pronunciation of the word homage. You know, when you pay homage to someone, you are honoring them by, you know, for what they've done and whatever, what you've learned from them, and you're showing your respect and honor of their accomplishment. And so we are learning from Cézanne. We're learning from his, you know, concept of plastic color. And so this is an homage to Cézanne, would be, you know, a lovely thing, although Apples to Apples is also a catchy title too. So there is sometimes room across the bottom for penciling in, you know, your title and a date and possibly your signature in this corner over here, because this is where artists always sign their work. But for $10, you know, you can't go wrong in terms of being able to make a really nice presentation. And then this, bang, it is ready to go on your wall, in your office, kitchen, living room, or even bathroom. It makes just a really nice little work of art. So that's not part of the assignment. You don't have to frame it, but I really wanted to share the concept of framing artwork with you because it's really a lot easier than we think it is. Many of you may have already been to Walmart or someplace else and bought frames in the past for putting up diplomas or documents or photographs or something. And so your artwork is also worthy of framing and worthy of display in that way. And you'll just be amazed at how nice it looks once you get it into a picture frame. So that was the other little piece that I wanted to share with you guys today, was the idea of framing. And we haven't really had a chance to talk about that until now. And I guess I could squeeze it in today because you've been working on a painting. You got 4, 5, 6 hours into this painting. And it really is nice enough to, why is this thing sitting in my forehead? I don't know. Make it go away. To memorialize your work and save it and then display it in a good picture frame. So we would kind of like to do that. We're going into the weekend, and all I'd like to ask you guys to do is read the rest of chapter 7. The rest of chapter 7 is going to go into the tetrad concept quite a bit, and it's got a couple more little units embedded within there, and we're going to start our next project next week, but I don't really have a project for you. So if you can just get some reading done, get the rest of chapter 7 looked at, that would be fantastic. I'm really struggling right now whether we should do 2 projects to end this quarter, because we've got 2 more weeks left, or just 1 project and just spend more time on it. So I think I might do that. Because I've got some students who are kind of slow and they're still working on trying to finish up previous projects. And we've done a lot this quarter. It's very hard doing this online. I know that you guys are struggling to try to get stuff done. So I think we may just do 1 more project, and then we'll do the final quiz and call it a month, call it a quarter. And that would probably be pretty good. So if you could look at the rest of chapter 7 this weekend, that would be good. And I will reset all of this so that we can start a new project on Monday. Are there any questions or comments or concerns? Please go ahead and unmute your mic if you've got anything that you'd like to say or ask for the good of the order. Any stumpers that you have for me to stump me in terms of questions?
No, but thank you for showing us the other artwork. It was neat to see all the different styles and interpretation. It's a lot of fun.
You're welcome. And I hope that you don't feel like your artwork somehow is, lacking or anything else, because everybody struggles with this project. If we're not painters, we're learning about the concept of color in this class. This is a design class. It's not even really a painting class. So that is kind of a part of it. Well, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to say goodbye and have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys again on Monday. So good weekend to you. Bye-bye.